Today on Joe's Geek Show, we're going to be talking about the brand new Ninjak, issue number 1 from Valiant. What's going on and welcome to Joe's Geek Show, the video series where we talk comics. And if you're new and like to support the channel, you can do so by hitting that like button, clicking that subscribe button, and sharing. And with that, well, we've got a brand new Ninjak book out from Valiant Comics. Oh boy. Let's dive in. Written by Jeff Parker and Javier Pulido, with art by Javier Pulido, and letters by Javier Pulido and Dave Sharp. So this book starts in London as Neville is meeting with another man from MI6 by the name of Mr. Darbin inside a local pub, where the two discuss the current state of MI6 and Colin King himself, aka Ninjak. Unbeknownst to them, two people are sitting nearby and one seems to have some kind of mind power where she extracts information from the two, which also sends both Neville and Mr. Darbin into a trip. Meanwhile, in Istanbul, we see a man being confronted by hired hitmen for apparently spilling secrets of the royal family. They move to murder him until they are stopped by a man who turns out to be Ninjak and does battle with the assassins, all while being watched from afar. Once finished, Ninjak asks that the altercation be kept a secret before we get a series of pages of MI6 agents' identities being compromised and them getting killed. The one who had been following Ninjak, Myra, is being pursued when Ninjak saves her life and makes her kill one of the hitmen so she can learn to kill, as this isn't something she typically is accustomed to. Ninjak and Myra then team up and head back towards England, traveling by train in order to keep a low profile, when the train is derailed and both Myra and Colin face down a team of 3 monstrous assassins. And the main story itself is decent. It's not the best Ninjak story I've ever read, but it definitely opens up the character to new avenues of storytelling now that Ninjak's entire identity has been compromised. I like the idea of Ninjak, constantly on the run. He can never truly hide anywhere because he's always got these assassins looking for him now. Hence why the story is called Daylight, because you have a ninja and other MI6 personnel who always operate in the shadows, but now they've been pushed into the light of the public and the media. And there's some bounties getting put out. And I'm interested to see what Neville's and MI6's responses to this whole situation, because as their agents' identities have now been compromised, this makes MI6 also more vulnerable. The only thing real story-wise that I had any real issues with was at the very beginning when Mr. Darby and Neville were talking in an open bar. I mean, I know that Neville said that he had the room swept for bugs and it's all clear, so there's no way anybody can eavesdrop with anything like that, and there's a room closed sign right over by their table, which makes me think that they have half the bar. But when we have our 2 other characters entering the scene and sitting down, despite the blonde dude saying and making comments about how rude it was for Neville and Mr. Darbin to sit so far back, the art doesn't really convey that and really makes it look like they're sitting a lot closer than they say they are. So when the guy says far back, how far back are we talking here? I mean, it doesn't look like a very big pub. Also, I think Neville would have been a little bit safer about it as well when talking to another MI6 agent about sensitive information, because Neville hasn't just worked with the Ninjak, he's also worked with Unity, which is a group of super-powered beings and other assassins like Ninjak on the team, essentially the Valiant Universe's version of the Avengers or the Justice League. So he knows people with powers exist, and he himself has been targeted a few times, so I just kind of feel like, even for him, it was played a little too loose. The characters otherwise are handled well enough. I mean, we get a basic Colin King origin recap that will be friendly to new readers who are generally interested in the character, but still, story-wise, interesting start. Now, despite my earlier criticisms of the preview art for this book, I decided to just relax and give it the benefit of the doubt, because maybe it will complement the story. And it's still not growing on me, because even as I wrote the summary for this particular video, I was reading it back, and in my mind I was imagining all these really cool sequences playing out. But then when I look at the book, it's disappointing. The colors are limited, dull, flat, the line art looks quite basic and lacks any real dynamic detail or depth of feel. It truly looks like a doodling some kid did in class because he got bored. Because really, when you go back to the other Ninjak books, I mean, one thing I never, ever could criticize was the artwork. From the 90s all the way through Ninja K, the art was always impressive to some degree. And I think what makes the art a little bit harder to swallow is knowing that Javier Pulido has done a lot better work. His work on Robin Year One and The Amazing Spider-Man are proof of that. In fact, the art that he used in The Amazing Spider-Man Black Cat comic book would be, I feel, perfect for this particular kind of story. It's a case of, I want better because I've seen you do better. And so to me, it makes me feel like that Javier Pulido's just sort of phoning it in for a paycheck. And there also seems to be some level of awareness going on, as I've read quite a few articles and interviews as well as early reviews of this book where the artwork is placed front and center, and it's like they're trying to convince me that this art is just amazing. Like they're using words like bold and daring and inspiring, and it's gonna put comics in perspective. And when I just put everything all together and the similarities between all of these different articles and stuff like that, it really makes me feel like Valiant's just trying to get ahead of the bus before it crashes. Maybe hoping to just convince enough people that it's good to where it can at least sell some copies. And I kind of take the stance that if you have to like really try to convince me with every fiber of your being that something is good, it probably isn't. And I honestly hope that this is only temporary style and that Javier Pulido will adjust maybe to a more conventional style that's akin to some of his previous and better work. Or at the very least, when his story is done, that he just hops off the book and we get another artist. So to recap, interesting setup to a story. It didn't blow my socks off, but I think that there's enough there to latch onto. And for me, the artwork did not land. And now that this book is out, I am going to be quite interested in seeing what the main audience's reception is to this book. And with that, I'm going to score Ninjak issue number 1 a 3 out of 10. So Ninjak, issue number 1, what did you think about this book if you've read it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you like this video, I'd love it if you'd smash that like button, share it with some friends, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and ring that notification bell for more comic book content. And if you're wondering what to watch next, consider one of these 2 videos. Alright, take care, have a great day, and as always, stay geeky.